The reason why I left, when we talk inside, you say, your sister, I will knock out your sister. So me and you fight, and your sister was joining there.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Oh yeah, yes. I told you guys obviously about Aselu and Kelani and 90 Day Fiance. Yes, Kelani I think is moving a bit mad, and she needs to understand that before she moves very reckless. When it comes to the family situation. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returning, you already know what it is, baby. Yeah? Mineral gang, listen. Mineral gang. You understand? Yeah? Don't play with me. Mineral gang. I appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. More love. Alright, cool. So after watching, obviously, Aselu and Kelani, I think it's very, very, very simple. Family is something that is very, very techie. And you have to be careful how you say anything about them. There is a way to deal with family when they're moving mad. But to call them lunatics, to call them madmen, to call them crazy, stuff like that, you risk losing your partner. You risk agitating your partner. You risk putting your partner in the line of fire. Okay, when it comes to dealing with their family. Why do I say that? Well, Kelani, I understand from the last episode, had absolutely every right to feel frustrated, angry, hurt, disappointed in Aselu's family. The fact that the mother could say F them kids like she's Michael Jordan meme, I don't understand that, right? I get it. I get the fact that that's so hurtful to find out that someone's parents are saying F the kids, but you know what? I want my money still, right? I get it. It's off bounds. It's out of this world, and actually, it's disturbing, right? To see that, right? A parent could say that. But the truth of the matter really is here that the way you talk about the family is also dependent upon how the person is interacting with that family. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Listen, I don't always get on with my family, but to start calling my family crazy and mad, listen, you don't get to call them that. That's my family. I will call them crazy and mad.
I was very upset how Kelani talked to my family, and her sister tried to get involved in our problems. I told her
You know when you watch like films and they say, listen, no, I will kill him. Listen, no one else can kill him, just me. Same thing here with family. Right? Regardless of whether I've told you all the madness about my family, you don't get to decide to call my family all these names. That's the problem that Kelani did. She decided to start calling Aselu's family these names, right? And when she did that, she lost Aselu. When she came in talking about how, last episode, how I can beat up your sister, of course he's going to feel some way. He doesn't hate his sister. He doesn't agree with what his sister said, but he doesn't hate his sister. So, of course. So, what does Kelani do? You see, she's now, because she has a level of power in this relationship, she has a level of grip on the relationship. She's doing whatever she feels she wants to do, right? She's starting actually to go over the boundaries. So the fact that she insulted his family and then didn't see that was something wrong with it, and then the fact that you say, oh, they're beating up your sister, blah, 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 blah. Listen, I'm not saying his sister was right for even starting a fight, because it was the sister that started the whole I'm going to launch at you kind of situation. But I would never gloat that, listen, to my missus, that, you know, I would have banged your brother, like I can bang your brother up. No, I would have never done that. I'd be like, listen, babe, I don't know why your brother's with Imaginal. Like, man was looking to bang me.
go to my mom's and my sister's house because she not really tried to listen to me.
Like, but you overstated your confidence, Kelani, and I get that you were angry. You overstated your confidence in the fact that Aselu was separated from his family or didn't like what his family were doing. And then you soak out of turn, right? And so even in this particular episode, I can see why a lot of issues are not going to work out because, look, you know, first of all, Aselu runs from issues, okay? When it comes to arguments, Aselu doesn't deal with arguments very well. He doesn't deal with confrontation very well. He reclines and runs away. Like we saw that in this episode. Instead of actually addressing the issues that were happening on February the 13th, going on to February the 14th, he didn't do that. He actually ran away and went somewhere else, and she had to go and stay in a hotel, right? And so actually what he did is that he actually said, this issue is not that important.
Hi, Aselu.
Last night, Aselu showed up to the hotel with balloons and flowers because tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
By running away, you communicate that this issue is not that important and that I don't want to have this conversation. And actually, we see that later on in the episode when he keeps saying, I don't want to have this conversation again. In the car, he said it as we were leaving to go to the airport. I don't want to have this conversation again. But sir, you haven't finished sorting out the issue. But sir, you have not finished the issue at hand. You cannot sweep things underneath the carpet. Okay? Yeah, I get that it's emotionally tasking. I get the fact that it's emotionally frustrating. But you cannot exit the process of when discussing about key issues. You're going to make it very hard for Kelani to be able to work with you when you don't address issues, especially as a man. Yeah? Like, you don't have you can't afford not to address issues. There are issues that are going on. They must be dealt with. And so when he runs away and then the next morning comes and like everything is okay, I totally agree with Kelani. That's out of order. You don't get to bring flowers and balloons and be all happy, duffy, lovey and be a dad again because you decided that obviously you feel better on the next day. No, sir. It don't work like that. You cannot abandon your family like that, sir.
Because this make me more mad.
Yeah, but you have to talk about issues. You can't just bring flowers and say sorry and then pretend nothing happened. That's not how you work out problems.
Yeah, she didn't know where you were. Well, she kind of did. She knew you were sisters, isn't it? Did you get me? So you can't do that. Do you understand? Not without an effective plan to say, okay, do you know what? Okay, I'm going to go to my sisters. You stay here for the night. When we come back tomorrow, let's discuss this. That shows a level of maturity of dealing with emotional issues. You see, a lot of men are not emotionally mature. They're mature in everything else, but when it comes to emotional maturity, they're not there. Okay? Dealing with emotions is important. Why? Because your children will have emotions. I don't want to hear any of this red pill stuff. Men are meant to be stoic. No, they're not. Your kids don't grow up like that, and the kids will never grow up like that. Do you understand? Kids grow up with emotions. So as a parent, you have to have emotions. As an adult, you need emotions to deal with the world that you're dealing with. Okay? Quintessential emotions are a part of our life. God made it so. Do you know what I mean? God can be angry. God can be jealous. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know, God can be pleased. So there are emotions that God can feel. Which means we're made in His image, so we will function in that same way as well. So here's the thing: when Aselu came back, something was really interesting. When they did this, when Kelani did decide to address the issue of Aselu, what I hate most is that when you're addressing the issue, you're not focused on the issue. What do I mean by that? If we had an argument the night before, Kelani, you're vexed about the fact that my man went away. When he comes back and you want to engage a conversation about the fact that what happened the other night, you don't continue doing your makeup.
Why did you leave?
Okay, listen. The reason why I left, when we talk inside, you say,
Why? Because that's rude, number one. Number two, also it means you're not focused on the actual full conversation. Do you get what I'm saying? And actually, again, it's actually a barrier. You see, eye contact is one of the biggest things that help us able to... You saw that obviously she was there, you know, doing her makeup, etc., etc. And I think, I always tell people this, look, when someone's focused on something else, rather than the conversation you're having, you're actually showing a disrespect. And actually, you're not giving that conversation its full wholehearted attention, because your hand and your eye and your mind is in two places, and you can't actually do two things at once. Like, you do one thing and you move to the next. Do you understand? You're actually not doing two things at once. You are going to put more effort into something else. So for me, I saw that and I said, this is not going to work. She's not going to really be listening to Aselu, as he was trying to let her know, listen, look, that's family. You can't talk the way you're talking. Like, I just want you to know that. But she missed all of that because she was too busy doing her makeup as she was trying to talk at the same time. So what it made her do is listen to respond, right? So she already preloaded her argument, okay? So whenever you're having a conversation where it gets intense like Aselu and Kelani do not follow what Kelani was doing. You don't start doing your makeup, babe, yeah? You put your makeup down, you swivel round, and you look at your man in the eye and go, okay, look, let's work this out. Okay, or if you're too busy and you need to go out, okay, babe, look, let's part this conversation. I want to have this conversation, but the way I'm trying to do my makeup right now, we're getting ready, we're going to go, let's part this conversation and let's deal with this another time, right? Because you trying to deal with the situation with your makeup on you doing the situation, trying to put your makeup on, it's actually going to make you more frustrated. Why? Because you're not fully listening. So you're not listening to understand, you're listening to respond, right? And you're not going to be able to deep everything the person is saying. And because you're obviously not listening, you're only going to preload an argument that you've already put in your head already. Therefore, you're never going to win. Because you're not actually listening. So you have to go with what you think is being said. That's a problem itself.
I will knock out your sister. So me and you fight, and your sister was joining there. And that's who you are, that's how your sister...
And so the issue obviously here was that, he's talking about the fact that you violated by saying you're going to bang my sister. And I think Kelani didn't hear that. If she was listening and paying attention, she would have heard that. And maybe she might have calmed down and said, actually, you know what, I hear you. And then she might have been able to explain how she felt, that she didn't feel that she was being supported by Aselu. Because Aselu again mentioned the fact that, listen, I'm annoyed because I overheard you and your sister talking about how you could have banged my sister. Like, yo, come on, like, blood, like, regardless of what she did, you saying that is hurtful to me because that's my family, right? So if she had slowed down, paid attention to the conversation, this could have been a very productive conversation. But because she was doing two things at once, her mind wasn't really fully on the conversation. She's preloading her arguments. And so another thing is this, like, you don't get you involved. You shouldn't get your sister involved in this finascal. Or you shouldn't have at least you should have been a bit more smart and not let him hear that you got your sister involved in the shenanigans that happened. Yeah, the shenanigans is just a madness. Yeah, the scuba woof. You get me? She shouldn't have let him overhear that. And when he did, all she had to do was say, listen, my bad. I apologize. I'm not trying to bring my sister into it, but I needed somebody to confide in. I needed somebody to talk to about the issue. Again, it's about bringing understanding so the person can be able to have an idea of where you stand, rather than trying to fight you the whole entire time because they don't get what you're saying and they think that you're just saying what you're saying to be their enemy.